meditation. You're coming for the first time, or have you been here? Been here, okay. So we are having a very auspicious month. This month is called the Kartik month, where there is a beautiful form of the Lord as Damodar, which is worshipped, and we worship ghee lamp every day, and we sing a very special song called Damodar Ashtakam. So that will happen at 8 o'clock, and then we meditate on one aspect of spiritual life from the pages of Vedic literatures. So today is the 7th day, and this session is humbly dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. So the journey we started on the first day when we saw from the pages of the Vedic scriptures how our life can be compared to an exam. It's not just one exam, because we get series of tests where we are tested on various levels, and the test paper varies for each one of us. You cannot have a same question paper for what somebody else had. So we have very unique test papers that we keep getting throughout our lives. But very interestingly, there is one test paper which each one of us have to go through, irrespective of whether we are literate, illiterate, PhD, school dropout, doesn't matter, and that is the ultimate exam of life, which comes at the time of death. They say life is a preparation and death is an examination. That exam, each one of us we have to appear for this exam, and the criteria or the yardstick for passing this exam is if we are able to remember the Lord at the time of death, or ante narayana smritihi. Etavan sankhya yoga bhyam swadharma parinishthaya janma labha parapumsan ante narayana smritihi. So we might have done so many things in our life. We might have had so many laurels, accolades, achievements, certificates. But the final thing that is tested is whether our life is a success or not if we are able to remember the Lord at the time of death, which though appears very easy but very difficult. So if we have fear whether we will succeed in this exam or not, what should we do? What is the fearless way to pass the exam? That is also mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Hare Namanu Kirtanam. Etan nirvidyamananam ichchatam akuto bhayam yoginam nripanirnitam Hare Namanu Kirtanam. This is the verse which is spoken by Sukadev Goswami when Parikshit puts forward this question before him, that what is the duty of a person when he knows he is going to die? What should he meditate upon in general and in particular at the time of death? And the answer which Sukadev Goswami gives is Etan nirvidya mananam. This is decisively ascertained. Ichchatam akuto bhayam. If you want to become fearless in this exam, you should chant continuously the names of the Lord. Hare Namanu Kirtanam. This was our theme. Day 2 we took where we can receive the knowledge and what kind of knowledge, because this is a very separate exam. It's not the same as our material subjects that we have studied in our schools or colleges. This is different. And the answer is given as in this verse, Yasvanubhavam akhila shrutisaram ekam adhyatma deepam atitirshatam tamavandham samsarinam karunayah purana guhyam tam vyasa sunam upayami guru munina. Very beautiful verse. What should we hear and from whom we should hear? That we saw on the second day. Third day we spoke about a powerful medicine, a tonic that we can apply, we can take in our lives, and that was the tonic of the Krishna's glories and the benefits of taking this glories or the hearing of this pastimes of the Lord. We saw that in the third day. Fourth day we had for any exam we have the toppers. So and usually there will be an interview of the toppers, like how did they do well, how did they succeed. So in the exam that we are talking about, the ultimate exam of life, where we have to remember the Lord, there are some toppers which are ascertained by the Vedic literatures and by the acharyas. And the toppers are none other than the gopis of Vrindavan. And the topmost among them is Srimati Radharani. So we saw some verses from Bhagavatam, what is Venu Gita, when Krishna was not present, how these gopis used to meditate on those beautiful sound produced by the Lord. And they also say that anybody who has got this vision or the eyes, like in this movie, this person says that this is my laksha, this is my goal. The gopis say, standing here, when this Beautiful Tribhangi Shyamasundar Krishna goes to graze cows along with his cowherd boys. He gives a sidelong glance, he looks back, and he plays flute. And they say that anybody who has got the eyes, this should be the object of vision. For those who have eyes, we think there is no greater object of vision. Then we went to the fifth day where we spoke about molding one's life, because this exam requires certain kind of changes, and that is possible by these five things: sadhu sangha, nama kirtan, bhagavat shravan, mathura vas, Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. Sadhu sangha is association of devotees, association of people who are practicing, who are doing this. Nama kirtan, continuously chanting the names of the Lord. Bhagavat shravan, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Mathura vas, staying in a place of pilgrimage or coming to temple and associating with the deities and the devotees. Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan, and then doing worship of the deity with faith and veneration. Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan. And that is possible by one of these slokas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which he says, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Trinadapi Sunichena, one has to think himself humbler than straw, humbler than the straw or the grass. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna, and one has to have a tolerance more than that of a tree. A tree, when somebody throws a stone, it gives a ripe fruit. When it is cut, it is used as somebody's to help someone make his house. So Tarorapi Sahishnuna, the tree never complains. It is always very tolerant. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena, never expecting any respect for oneself, but always giving respect to others. Then only Kirtaniya Sadahari is possible. One can chant the holy name of the Lord in that humble state of mind. And yesterday we saw how we can become an instrument in the hand of the Lord. The example that we had was that of this pen, how when somebody is writing the exam, even though the person is writing, but physically that work is executed by this pen. But nobody gives credit to that pen. But without the pen, writing exam also is not possible. And how we can become instruments in the hands of Krishna. We saw this beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita. Tasmat tvam utishta yasho labhasva jitva satrun bhungsva rajyam samriddham maye vaitah nihata purvam eva nimitta matram bhava sabhyasachin. Where Krishna, after showing his Kala Rupa, his Vishwarupa, is telling all these enemies have already been killed. O Sabhyasachi, who's dexterous in, using both hands to shoot arrows, you become just an instrument in my hands. Nimitta matram bhava sabhyasachin. And then we saw also further verses how Krishna's flute, how this is made up of dry bamboo, but it can moisten the eyes of so many devotees when Krishna plays his flute. This flute, which has got so many holes, can produce so beautiful melodious ragas. Generally an object, if it has got hole, it's of no use. Imagine if this glass has got some holes, it cannot carry the water. But whereas this bamboo, having these holes, can produce beautiful melodious sound. Then we saw this mortar, how it is an instrument in the hand of the Lord, or this rope with which Mother Yashoda bound Krishna, how that became an instrument in the hand of the Lord. They became empowered, so that this huge gigantic trees, Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj got uprooted. Not because the mortar was very strong, not because the rope was very, very strong or thick rope. No, none of those. The rope was very soft, very tiny, and the mortar was also not very heavy. But because Krishna empowered them, because they became instrument in the hands of Krishna, they could uproot this. Then we saw some verses from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. One of the important thing which we saw was Snigdheshu Pandusu, how the devotees of the Lord, especially the Pandavas, were so malleable that they became instrument in the hands of Krishna. And how does Krishna reciprocate? Sarathya Parasada Sevana Sakhya Dautya Virasanugamana Stavana Pranamam. So Krishna became the charioteer, Krishna became the night watchman. Krishna used to worship Yudhishthir Maharaj. He used to do everything virtually for them because of this one quality of the Pandavas. Snigdheshu Pandusu. How much we are ready to get malleable in the hands of Krishna. Are we ready for that, or we are resisting? That decides whether we are an instrument or not. So coming to day 7, that is today, November 3rd. 2023 Kartik Mass Meditation. What are we going to do? Usually, when I used to write exams, that's long back, 20, 25 years back, we used to have mock tests, or we used to have the previous exams question papers. And there will be some questions which will be highlighted as very, very important. Like these questions, there is a high chance of coming. The repeatability is very high. So when I wrote GRE, that was in 2000, year 2000. It was out of 2400, and this book used to be the Bible. Like it's, if you want to study for, okay, you are nodding, I'm sure you must have also gone through that. So this book is like, if you really want to crack GRE, then Barron's. That's what it used to be. I don't know if it is still the case, if people still refer to this. So when we used to have this Barron's as our reference, as our ready reckoner, there used to be something called high frequency word list. And they were about 333. It's very odd. I mean, why this 333 number, nobody knows. But they were the high frequency words. If you memorize these words, good chance that you will get at least 50% or something like that. And whether, you know, they used to have, I think, 3,000 or 5,000 word list, but this 333 are the chosen ones. They are bound to come. So something like this, we've been talking about our own lives, and each one of us, for sure, we are going to face that death. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityur. Anybody who has taken birth cannot dodge this. This exam, you cannot say that I will not appear for this. I'm not prepared. We have to go through this. And it doesn't come with a notice on such and such date at such and such time this exam is going to come. No, that doesn't happen. So if that is the case, if it is inevitable, if it is going to be there for each one of us, and when we are preparing for it, when we are trying to receive the knowledge, when we are trying to have this tonic, when we are trying to mold our life, when we are trying to become an instrument in the hands of Krishna, it is also important to know if anybody else has faced that, and how did they face it, how did they succeed in that. So we will take one verse from Mukundamala Stotra. It's a very beautiful verse, and it talks about this exam of life, also talks about how we can pass this exam. So what I will chant this verse. Even if you are not very familiar with Sanskrit, I would request you can chant along. It's a very beautiful verse. He martya paramam hitam shrunutobo vakshyami sanksepataha samsararnavamapadurmi bahulam सम्यक् प्रविश्य स्थितः नानाज्ञानमपास्य चेतसि नमो नारायणेति अमुम् मन्त्रं सप्रणवं प्रणामसहितम् प्रावर्त्यध्वं मुहुः. This is our this prayer of Prabhupada, what is that? Goswami, Sat Goswami Ashtakam, same tune. He maratya paramam hitam shrunutovo vakshyami sanksepataha samsararnavamapadurmi bahulam samyak prabhishya sthita nana jnanamapasya cetasi namo narayaneti amum mantram sa pranavam pranama sahitam pravartyadhvam muhu. So this is a beautiful Acharya by name Kulashekar Alwar who is singing this song, who is telling this song, and is talking about this exam and why this is such a difficult exam. Cracking GRE or cracking IIT or getting into MIT, not easy. But there are a few of us. who have been successful and who are like the experts, the ustads, what they have told. So this is a very beautiful verse. So Kulashekar Alwar is addressing to all of us. Hey Martyaha. Hey usually is used to address someone. Suppose somebody is going and not paying attention, busy in his own life. Hey Vidya. So then suddenly, oh, my name is called out. Then I become attentive. Hey Martya. So hey is all of us who are busy in our own lives. Hey Martya. Martya is someone who's bound to die. I mean, we are all, it's not like it is a very, why are you talking pessimistically? No, this is a reality. We, each one of us who have taken birth, is a matter of time when we are going to die. Hey Martya. Hey Martya. Oh, people who are bound to face this exam called death, who are going to die. Hey Martya. Paramam hitam. You hear something which is ultimately beneficial to you. What is ultimately beneficial? Sometimes people come to this temple and they will ask, Dhanam Dehi, Putram Dehi, Janam Dehi, all these kind of things. Jai Jagadish Hare. What is, how does it start, bro? No, then there is one line there, it comes, no? Dhanam Dehi, Janam. Not exactly Dhanam Dehi. Then there is one line, there is Dhan. It's there, something like that. Get the essence. If people come and they ask give me a little money, give me little followers, give me some prosperity, give me some good health. Jai Jagadisha Hare. That is what we ask. That is a small little benefit. But here Kulashekar Alwar is using the word Paramam Hitam. Hey Martya, Paramam Hitam Shrunuto. Here this is the ultimate benefit that you can get. The people who are going to face this death, this exam called death, Hey Martya, Paramam Hitam Shrunuto. Vo Vakshyami Sankshepataha. So how long are you going to how long are you going to take for explaining this? Sankshepataha. Because people often come, जल्दी जल्दी बताओ, जो भी स्वामी जी हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है, घड़ी देखते रहते हैं, मंदिर आते हैं, 1 minute हो गया, 45 seconds हो गया, और 15 seconds, 22 minutes we are out. So that's why he also understands the mentality. So he's telling, I'm not going to take a lot of time, I'm not going to take a long time to explain. Sankshepataha. He Martya Paramam Hitam Shrunuto Vo Bhakshyami Sankshepataha. I'm going to tell you very, very shortly, very briefly. What is he going to say? So the first line talks about that he's going to explain, and the second line he's talking about our present situation, how difficult this exam is. Samsararnavam apada urmi bahulam samyak prabhishya sthita. Samsararnavam apada urmi bahulam. So this samsara, this place where we are stuck, this is called this is a repeated cycle of birth and death, or known as samsara. And what kind of samsara is this? Arnava. What is the meaning of the word Arnava? No. Arnava. We sing every day forest fire. और ऐड करते हैं forest fire के साथ animals भी burn हो रहे हैं. So picturize that. Ocean. Who said ocean? You only said. Ocean is the right answer. Samsara Ranavam Apada Urmi Bahulam. So we sing this song every day in the morning. Samsara Dava Nalalidha Loka Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Guna Arnava Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya. The spiritual master is an ocean of mercy. So he is receiving this mercy and he is showering this rain in this forest fire of material existence. The only way forest fire of material existence can be extinguished is by a rainfall, not by any fire brigade or putting some sand or fire extinguisher. It will not work. So samsararnava, so there is gunarnava. So he is taking all these qualities from the Lord and he is showering that mercy upon us. So here it is mentioned samsararnavam apad urmi bahulam. Samsara, the cycle of birth and death, is also compared with Arnava, is an ocean. Why it is considered to be an ocean? Why people say that samsara is an ocean? That he explains in a previous verse, in the 13th verse. And here he is saying, Kulashekar Alwar, Trishna toye madana pavana uddhuto moharmi male dara varte tanaya sahaja graha sangha kulecha samsararkhya mahati jaladho majjatam nastridhamam padambhoje barado bhavato bhakti nabham prayacha. So why it is called samsara? Actually, Kulashekar Alvar is explaining here. Trishna toye. Trishna toye means toye. What is the meaning of the word toye? Wind? No. Milk? Toye is actually water. Trishna toye. So the water in that ocean is Trishna. We have so much of hankering, so many desires. So why this is called samsara is called an ocean, because he's telling that the place where we are living, we are filled with unlimited desires. The desires would never, promise to become zero. There's always some desire or other which is driving us. Trishna toye madana pavana. And there is a wind which is blowing. What kind of wind is that? There is a lusty wind. This lusty wind, the desire to possess. I want to have this. I want to enjoy. That wind is, mixing with this water. Trishna toye madana pavana uddhuta mohar mimale. Urmi is all these waves. Waves which are coming is the waves of illusion, which is making me, yes, I can achieve it. I can do it. Yes, I have, now I have gone into this, whatever, college, I'm in the competitive mode, I succeeded, I got good grades, I got into good college. Then now this is time for getting a good job. And there also I can climb the ladders. I should go for this promotion, that promotion. If I'm done with that, I should look for a better company, better prospects, bigger house, better country, better place. Moha urmi, and we are caught up in this illusion. We are not realizing. Trishna toye madana pavana uddhuto mohar mimale dara varte tanaya sahaja graha sangha kulecha. If you go deep into that ocean, there are some sharks, very ferocious aquatic animals which can gulp. And somebody may think, okay, this is not directed to anyone in particular, but this is what Kulashekar Alvar is telling. Dhara varte tanaya sahaja. Our spouses, our children, our family members, our relatives, they are like sharks, as per Kulashekar Alvar. Why? Because they take away a lot of time. They come, they ask, give me this, give me that, give me this. And our time, energy, our what do you call, the vital energy of life gets sapped in all those things. Dhara varte tanaya sahaja graha sangha kulecha. Of course, those who are devotees, it's a different thing. Those whose whole family member is, they are practicing devotion, it's a different thing. But generally, outside people, our own family members and relatives only become our enemies. Dhara varte tanaya sahaja graha sangha kulecha. So this is samsara khe. Samsara khe. This is called samsara. Mahati jaladho. Oh, it is very vast ocean. Majjatam nastridhaman. I'm not able to see any shore. It is a shoreless ocean, very vast. Padamboje barada bhavato bhakti nabham prayacha. So Kulashekar Alvar is telling, I am looking for that boat of devotion, which is the lotus feet of the Lord. When I'll get into that boat of lotus feet of devotion of the Lord, I will cross over this ocean. Anyway, this is the definition of samsara, samsararnava, samsara khe mahati jaladho. This is what he says. So coming back here, samsararnavam apad urmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthitaha. So in this ocean called samsara, we have not just gone little bit to see how much water is coming or just to wet our feet. We have gone samyak pravishya sthita. We have gone deep within. Samyak, very nicely we have gone. And we are there in the middle of the ocean. Samsararnavam apad urmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthitaha. So this is the problem statement he is telling. He martya paramam hitam shrunutovo vakshami sankshepata. I am going to tell you very shortly, very briefly, because for people don't have time. They're almost about to drown in this Kali Yuga with all kinds of miseries and problems and difficulties and disturbances. What they can do? How can they focus on their mind on chanting or reading or hearing Bhagavatam or studying all this Vedic literature? It's very difficult. So then what is he telling? There are three things that he's going to tell, and pay attention to this. Nana jnanam apasya chetasi namo nana jnanam apasya chetasi namo narayaneti amum. First thing that he's telling is nana jnanam apasya. You might have got so much of knowledge. You might have been a topper in your college. You've done excellent. This thing. First thing he's telling, nana jnanam apasya. Give up this knowledge. So, like, there are people who come to, let's say, learn, say, musical instrument like harmonium. And they come, if somebody comes with this background that I already know something, I have already practiced something, then for the teacher, he has to charge more money because first somebody has to undo those things. If you say, especially people from India, if they come and you say that there is a discourse which is going on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, सब आता है, so क्या है, बचपन से इतना जब था तब से मैं भगवद गीता देखा हूँ, वेरी गुड भगवद गीता देखी, क्या है उसमें, जो सब कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं, जो हो रहा है सब अच्छा हो रहा है, जो होगा सब अच्छा ही होगा, जो होने वाला है सब अच्छा ही होने वाला है. Actually, if you read this kind of message we might have got in our WhatsApp forward many a times, we don't pay attention, we think, yeah, message looks good, but there is no such thing in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna is telling जो हो रहा है अच्छा हो रहा है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा, जो हुआ वो भी अच्छा ही था. There's nothing like that. When let's say some example like Draupadi is getting disrobed, how can you say that जो हो रहा है अच्छा हो रहा है? Cannot be. There are things which are bad which happens, but there is a hand of the Lord, there is a reason that happens. If we understand, then every single incident can become good for us, but not that जो हो रहा है अच्छा हो रहा है, जो होगा अच्छा, something like that. So people come with their preconceived notions, prejudices that I know. So he's saying nana jnanam apasya, first you keep that knowledge away, you don't need any of those. You are great, you are very successful, very nice, PhD, postdoc, we congratulate you, but keep those knowledge aside, we don't need that knowledge. Nana jnanam apasya chetasi namo narayaneti amum. So what I should do? So he's telling that chetasi, through your chitta, through your consciousness, chant narayaneti amum mantram sa pranavam. Pranavam actually is referring to Om. Om namo narayanaya. He's telling chant this mantra Om namo narayanaya. Chetasi namo narayaneti amum mantram sa pranavam. But the word that he is using is chetasi. Often when we chant through our mouth. Half of the time our mind goes somewhere else. Some sound is coming, somebody is walking, somebody is doing something, or we ourselves are distracted. But still we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mind is all over the place. Somehow we are looking, ho gaya, shayad ho gaya hoga, aaj ka ek round ho gaya. Okay, this japamala and mantra, this thing, we'll keep it aside. Even sometimes people when they chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, even Krishna from the top might be thinking, what is he chanting actually? Whose name he is chanting? Is it me or somebody else? So we chant just by vibrating our tongue or just by vibrating our mouth, some sound we produce. But our mind, our chetasa is not there. But he's using the word chetasi namo narayaneti amum. Actually, Prabhupada says the chanting should be like a helpless cry of a child to his mother. The child was just making the noise. Was it for some fun or something, or was it just trying to gather some attention? No, she wants that mother should come. Depending upon the intensity of cry, the mother also knows, okay, this one can be avoided. She will manage. But if it is really a cry, if it's an intense cry, mother has to go. There is no way that mother will say, okay, jao. So similarly, when we understand our precarious position in this material world and call out helplessly, oh Krishna, please help me, Krishna will listen. So chetasi namo narayaneti amum. The first thing that is telling, nana jnanam apasya, give up all your material knowledge that you have acquired, keep it aside. Second thing, namo narayaneti amum mantram sa pranavam, om namo narayanaya. Whatever it is, the names of the Lord, we should chant it every day. Chant it from our chetasi. She heard it probably. She's trying to put it in practice immediately. Namo narayaneti amum mantram sa pranavam pranama sahitam. And the third thing that Kulashekar Alvar is telling is, pranamam sahitam. People often come to the temple. I have seen 90% of the people, maybe 90 is little too high, I should reduce. Maybe 60% of the people don't pay obeisances. They come, they'll look around. Some people are sitting. Okay, maybe they are devoted, converted people. They are sitting here. I am coming here for the first time. I'll just look at the Lord and then I'll go. But there is a very high significance given to paying obeisances. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Manmana, think of me, we can't do it. Mad bhakto, become my devotee, very difficult. Madhyaji, worship me, very difficult. Okay, nothing is possible, mam namaskuru. At least pay obeisances. We don't know how much benefit is there just by bowing down before the Lord. I don't know how many of you have seen, but I notice often people when they come to temple, there are different kinds of pranamas they do, the different kinds of obeisances people pay. If you are a little observant, you can sit here. Maybe somebody will walk in and you can see it will actually happen. So I have seen this. One form of obeisances, when they will come, they will circle there. They will stand and they'll 3, 4, 5, 6 bar they'll do, and then like this they will do, and they'll go. Some people they fall flat, like Dandavat Pranam. There is another type, I don't know how many of you have seen, but if I show you by action, probably you will recollect. Some people will come, I've seen this. Have you seen this? Means who is this? Your some lover or something or what? And they go. No, pranama sahitam. Pranama is to fall down full. Sastang dandavat. Mantram sa pranavam pranama sahitam. Pravartya dhom muhuhu. Continuously we should do it. There are great examples of the Goswamis who even at the time, very ripe age, 80, 70, they used to count their number of obeisances, how many times they are falling down. So one Acharya, he says, just remember 2 things. Spirituality, if you really want to practice, you want to begin your journey, 2 things you should remember. Nama and Pranama. I should chant continuously from my Chetasa. Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhecha. In all circumstances, in all times and places, I should chant. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, I should remember. Mam anusmara yuddhecha. Even during your fight, while you are fighting, you should remember me. And pranam, just pranam, bow down. People go and do obeisances to Govardhan in this month, holy month of Kartik, by just paying obeisances. They will fall down, they will get up, again fall down. That is how they will complete this parikrama. But we are so concerned about our body that a body, if I have to fall down, it is difficult. This thing will pain or knee will hurt, or there is a familiarity. I have come here today. Morning I have come once, evening I have come. Now it is done. So Krishna, I am doing this. So you remember me, I am going. So pranama sahitam. Very important. This thing we may laugh at it, but actually we also do ourselves sometimes. We don't bow down. We see other people bowing down, but we look at them. What are they doing? So to conclude our time, we have 4 minutes. So this verse, these are all wonderful things. Unfortunately, we don't have knowledge to go through this. There is nobody to show us. But there are acharyas like Kulashekara Alvar, great devotee of the Lord. They are telling this. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. They are telling us that, this is Sankshepataha. I am telling you in briefly, just 3 things. Keep aside all your knowledge, material knowledge. Don't bring that speculation. Chant the names of the Lord always. And the 3rd thing is pranama sahitam. Bow down before the Lord. Before we close, I will chant one verse where all the names of the Lord are there. You can repeat after me. Very beautiful verse again from Mukundamala Stotra. And then we will go to the next section, which is offering lamps by chanting the Damodara Ashtakam. What is the meter for this? How do we chant this? There used to be a serial called Sri Krishna by Ramananda Sagar. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Srinath Narayan Vasudeva. It's not the right meter. Shri Krishna Bhakta Priya Chakrapane. Shri Padmanabha Achyuta Kaita Bhare. This is the right. Shri Ram Padmaksha Hare Murare. Ananta Vaikuntha Mukunda Krishna. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Vaktum Samartho Pinavakti Kashye. Aho Jananam Vyasanabhimukhyam. Srinath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Bhakta Priya Chakrapane Shri Padmanabha Achyuta Bhare Shri Ram Padmaksha Hare Murare Ananta Vaikuntha Mukunda Krishna Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Vaktum Samartho Pinabhakti Kashya Aho Jananam Vyasanabhimukhyam. So we are at 8:10 and we'll have Damodara Ashtakam now. Very beautiful verse. Sometimes we will see this meaning. But the last line it says Bhaktum Samartho Pinabhakti Kaschit. Actually every one of us we can chant, we can produce this sound. Bhaktum Samartho Pinabhakti Kaschit. Still people don't do it. Aho, alas, alas. Aho Jananam Vyasanabhimukhyam. How much you are distracted in this, mad, blind pursuit for sense gratification, Vyasanabhimukhyam, that you don't have time to even chant the names of the Lord. This is what Kulashekara Alvar says. Thank you for your attention. Next program that we have is Damodara Ashtakam. Shri Damodara Ashtakam ki